All right, hello, and welcome to Matt and KJ Talk About Movies. In this episode, we will be discussing Bright, starring Will Smith and Joel Edgerton. KJ, what did you think about this film?
Um, so before uh before I get into it, I have a couple of things I want to say. Okay,
Okay,
I want everyone to know some things about me.
all right, this
Okay,
is gonna be good.
okay. Caveats, maybe.
No
Okay,
idea what the fuck that means.
you
What?
don't know what a caveat is?
Nope.
Okay, you're an idiot. So look it up. Caveat.
I'm like,
I
how do you
don't I
feel?
don't even think that's the right word. Disclaimer. Let's call them disclaimers.
Yeah.
One.
A warning or proviso of specific stipulations, conditions, or limitations.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works.
Okay.
You seriously never heard that word?
I've heard it, I didn't know what it meant.
Okay, so one. Um, I haven't slept in like 30 hours,
Sweet.
so I'm pretty tired right now. Um, I tried watching this movie again, and I fell asleep halfway through it.
Cool.
So I'm very. I watched it one and a half times.
Okay.
Uh,
How much do you like? Are you still like relatively good on what happens and everything?
yeah, generally speaking, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not as much. If I'm fuzzy about things, you'll have to forgive me. I'm a little. I'm kind of exhausted right now, but I'm here for everyone. I'm here for you and all our fans.
Yay.
Because that's just the kind of person I am.
Right. Your
B.
sad Mike face.
Okay. B. All right, and these two next two are going to directly pertain to my general enjoyment of the movie. Okay.
Okay.
B. I've heard a fair amount of people say, kind of speak to the contrary of this. I fucking love Will Smith.
Yes.
You concur with this? I
I
believe.
was I was just gushing over Will Smith to Andrew
Okay.
like 30 minutes ago. Like
I
I
heard,
fucking love that man.
I've heard a lot of people. A lot of people have been commenting, said they're tired of Will Smith. I'm not tired of Will Smith.
No, fuck you.
So I just want you to bear that in mind. Okay. I think he's fucking great.
Love him.
I think he's charming as shit in everything he's in, including.
Yep.
I mean, I even liked him a lot in the last David Ayer movie, which is Suicide Squad, which was a legit
Yep.
piece of shit.
Yep.
So again, now C, this is the last caveat disclaimer.
Okay.
This is extremely specific. Okay,
Okay.
I am. I don't know if you could tell from every single thing that I say or my general demeanor. But I really enjoy sci-fi and fantasy,
Yeah.
and I have always had a very random preoccupation with the idea of, I'll be playing a game set in a fantasy world, like something like Lord of the Rings or Dungeons and Dragons or
Yes.
whatever, and I always think, what would this world be like if we moved into the modern day?
Yep, you okay, that's where I thought you were going. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
just I forgot you have brought this up on a few occasions, like how you
If
thought that would be really interesting.
it's for some reason, it's just something I've thought about a lot. It's yeah, it's like a preoccupation. just something I've thought about. I think about it a lot when I'm, and there's I know people could probably point to other things that do this, but I know there's a Shadowrun in particular, which is a stuff, I guess, but that's like fantasy and like a Blade Runner-esque cyberpunk kind of future, which is interesting too. But I mean, like I am interested in the concept of what would Middle Earth look like in 2018.
Yeah.
Again, don't know why, but I just
had
want
totally forgotten about that. Like, you have literally said that.
yes on numerous occasions. I don't know why the concept fascinates me, but it does. So again, keep that in mind. This movie is basically pitching right to me on that.
Right.
So, I just want to tell you all these things so that you don't think I'm an idiot when I say that I kind of enjoy this movie.
I did too.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure how you were going to go on it because I watched it and I was like, I kind of like that. And I was very curious to see how your reaction to it would be. I figured you'd either be in the same boat or you'd think it was dog shit.
Definitely didn't think it was dog shit. There were like, I thought it was weird, and there were aspects that I was like, what the fuck? But as a whole, I was like, all right. I kind of like that.
Well, particularly watching the first half again. Plot wise, it's very by the books. It's not that interesting.
Oh,
It's a very typical sort of buddy cop sort of movie. Except one of them's an orc, and one of them's Will Smith. And it's a very kind of simple MacGuffin style plot. They have something the bad guys want, and so the bad guys chase them around. It's nothing super new or amazing in that regard. But I think and I get into this a little later. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk with you about this movie is and again I want to stress I kind of like this movie. I don't think it's like fucking amazing or anything.
no.
I think it's probably at worst kind of neat.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, yeah, okay. It's not a bad way to spend 90 minutes or however long
I
it is.
agreed. Because I watched it, and I had heard stuff like that. It was just like critically not despised, but like really not well received.
It kind of was. It's interesting. I was a little baffled by it the first time I watched it, because like you know, you and I had a very long rambling discussion about Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And I think everyone I've talked to, you know, some people lean more towards liking it, some people lean more towards disliking it. But I think we all kind of come to the conclusion that it has certain faults.
Right.
But 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, you know, and then this movie, which I think is, again, at worst, sort of mediocre, and at best, you know, decently neat, I guess. It's like people are lining up to kick it in the balls.
Yes.
And I'm interested by that discrepancy because I think you also have that audience score, critic score discrepancy with this in the other direction, where general audiences seem to like this movie a lot.
Yes. That's what my brother was saying too. Was critically, it is not being received well at all.
Yeah.
But like you said, yeah, the audience seems to be enjoying it well enough.
Right. I think watching it again before I pass out, I think I might have kind of figured that out, and I'll touch on that a bit later, I guess. But where was I going with this? Oh, for me, yeah, it's kind of bog standard, but I think the things that make it enjoyable for me are the two leads. I just like their both of those actors, and I think they play well together.
Agreed.
And the movie takes itself very seriously.
Yes.
Like there's humor in it.
Yeah.
Right? But it takes its concept very seriously. Have I explained? Are we assuming people just know what this movie is? It's about it's Lord of the Rings, except
everything's like it is, but just all the species, like everything's pretty much normal, like how we think of reality, but there's just fantasy creatures.
Yeah, and it's like a LA cop drama,
and it's obvious. It's like too blatantly about racial issues.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are having problems with, and that's what I'll get to. But yeah, imagine you're watching Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, advance that from like medieval times to now, like this exact moment.
Instead of trying to work for Sauron and take over Middle Earth, the orcs are having barbecues.
Right.
And
the elves are like
they're the high class.
They're like the 1%ers.
Yes.
They're the white people of
the humans are like in between, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like orcs are like the ghetto lower class.
Yeah, orcs have like evolved into like gangbangers in South Central LA. So to me, obviously, immediately, I'm like drawn to that premise. It's weird that it is the setting of Bright is not Lord of the Rings, but it's very explicitly Lord of the Rings. I think it uses like that as sort of a shorthand, where the orcs fought for a Dark Lord at some point 2,000 years ago. They're elves. All this kind of stuff, and I guess the orcs again were in service of this Dark Lord, but then this Dark Lord was defeated by the good guys, and now everyone treats the orcs like shit.
They are the bottom of the barrel now.
Right? Yeah. So again, very Lord of the Rings-esque backstory. Yeah. Again, there's a lot of like levity in the script itself. The characters aren't like all the time, but yeah, the setting is taken very seriously. It's pretty like lore heavy. And to me, the mundanity of the plot and the weirdness of the setting kind of rubbed up against one another in a way that was appealingly strange to me. Like it made the movie is just weird enough for me to find it kind of endearing.
Yeah, I think I'd agree.
Did you want to add something, Matt?
I was thinking for a second.
Okay.
Like I had a gut, and then I lost it immediately.
You had a gut?
I had a gut at one point, and now it's gone.
Okay. Well, if the gut comes back, you interject.
All right.
If the gut returns. This is I was immediately uh, uh, I don't want to say drawn in. It makes it seem like I'm like really in love with this movie, and I'm kind of not. But
Well, okay, I'll actually go ahead and say it
okay,
just for the sake of it.
okay,
The night you brought it up, I actually did start watching it.
uh,
I was watching it in my car probably for I think about 20 minutes. And I was kind of invested. Like I was just watching it just on my phone in my car. But at that point I was exhausted and I was fucking drunk. So I couldn't finish the movie, but I was
right,
oddly intrigued and invested.
yeah,
Um Again, like you were saying, I don't want that to come off like this is like really fucking good, but there was just this quality to it that I was like, I do want to see where this goes.
yeah. I think if you can get past its troubling, I don't think that a lot of people I've been seeing have, because I've been going and reading negative reviews of it. I think a lot of people think the movie's very racist. I don't think that's the case personally.
Yeah, I
Um,
disagree.
I think the movie handles race in a very like almost clumsy, innocent way, where I think it'd be really easy to misread it.
Right. Well, like I said, it's too blatantly about like racial issues and stuff.
Yeah,
And I even have said like I mean the orcs are like kind of explicitly about like ghetto fucking
right. Okay, well, this is what I wanted to bring up. So, a lot of people are reading it that way, that the orcs are black people, right?
right.
I don't I don't see it that way. I understand if that's the way you see it, and I know some people are probably like, how the fuck do you not see it that way? But the movie has actual black people in it, A. So I don't think the orcs are like representative of black people because, you know, Will Smith's in the fucking movie.
Well, no, and I have jokingly said, well, I don't know. I didn't see it as that they were black people but it was about like the lower class fucking ghetto type. But I know plenty of fucking white people who are like
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
well yeah, of course. Yeah, if we're talking about like the low rung of the social ladder, I came into this as a fan of the fantasy genre, and to me it was like, where would orcs be in 2018?
Yeah,
There, you know what I
sure.
mean? To me, it wasn't like an explicit like racism thing, or they're supposed to represent. It's just like that felt to me like a natural fit for them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't read it. I didn't read into it. I kind of the second time I was seeing a little bit more of like, okay, I see how someone could read this. I don't want to say it wrong. How someone could read this differently. But for me, particularly in the first time, you'll. I'm not like. I'm not a super. I don't watch movies in a super political way a lot. If that makes any sense.
I couldn't help it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't
Sure,
really
it's
help this one.
understandable. But again, coming from like a more of a fan of fantasy, to me that's what it felt like more to me. Though, you know, it's a little clunky, kind of sloppy in that regard. Yeah, I don't think it was a race thing, more like a class thing, maybe more than anything.
Yeah.
But one of the things I like about fantasy and sci-fi, and I think that what gets obscured by setting it in the present day, is we can I'm gonna go full Stoklass on right now. There's an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine where you have this one alien race that I always read as being kind of Jewish. They seem similar to the Jewish people to me.
Okay.
And their planet was just inhabited by another very, like, Nazi-esque race of aliens for 50 years or something like that. And there's a very good... I'm going somewhere with this, by the way. I'm not just telling everyone about Star Trek. There's a very good episode early on in that show's run called Duet, where one of the main characters is from this kind of, again, Jewish sort of planet, and they kind of come face to face with one of these, a character that essentially ran like a concentration camp, right?
Okay.
And, like, I enjoyed that because I could kind of see the real world parallels, but because it wasn't it wasn't exactly a Jewish person meets a Nazi, they were able to do different things with it and explore different things that maybe they wouldn't have been able to do if it had had that baggage attached to it. Does that make any sense?
No.
When I say Nazi and Holocaust and Auschwitz, those are very loaded terms. You understand?
No.
You don't think of anything when I say those words. I'm making like a pretty smart point here, and I don't feel like you're... Okay. But when I say Bajorans and Cardassians and the Cardassian...
right.
You know... you don't really think of anything. And we can draw the parallels there, but, like... We can view the Cardassian, occupation of Bajor in a more objective kind of way than we could view the Holocaust. I see the parallels between the two of them, but they're not... This thing didn't happen. The Holocaust, right. I mean. It didn't happen. No, the Holocaust obviously happened. That was a joke for me. I thought that was extremely funny. So...
That was a joke. Pow.
Pow. Swing and a miss.
Okay, keep going.
I feel like I'm losing Matt. Is this getting too heady for you, Matt?
I'm really fucking bored. I'm not gonna.
Okay. Here's what I'm trying to say. In a fantasy setting, you could say these orcs are kind of similar, to black people in some sort of way, and then we could.
Yeah. And then the same with what you were saying with Star Trek, they're drawing parallels. Yes, that you're able to look at it in a...
Okay. When we bring it closer to the modern day, that distance closes, and I think it becomes...
Right, okay, yeah.
More uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. If
because then it's like too close to home or whatever.
Right. Then it's too close to what we're actually experiencing. And we could have, I don't know if you've seen 3 Billboards.
No.
I have not seen 3 Billboards either, but apparently...
At first, as soon as you said that, I was like... I forgot there's a movie called that, so I have seen 3 Billboards. It was like, yeah, what?
Yeah, no, not like 3 separate billboards. No. Look.
What's your fucking point? Yeah, okay, the movie. Yeah,
yes.
I totally forgot about that.
So some people are pissed because Sam Rockwell, I want to say, got a Golden Globe for that. And he plays like a racist cop I've not seen the movie, so
I
I'm
don't
kind of
think I've
just
been.
general.
I have seen the trailer.
Um, I don't know how his performance is in the movie, but if someone wants to give Sam Rockwell an Oscar for something, I'm not going to, uh, fight that in any kind of way. I think Sam Rockwell is
Has
fucking
Sam
great.
Rockwell not received an Oscar
I
yet?
don't think so. Let's
I
look.
don't think he has either, and that man deserves one.
He does. He is fucking great.
I fucking love Sam Rockwell.
He's sort of like to me. It was like kind of with J.K. Simmons. Now he won for Whiplash, which was an incredible performance, but it was sort of it was almost like I'm sorry we haven't given you one already kind of
Yeah.
thing. I'm not seeing one
No, just one Golden Globe win. That's it.
for 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. So
Now he's been nominated a fuck ton of times
yeah, he's so good,
for different shit though, not Academy Awards.
right? But he's
That's a
yeah.
shame. Anyway,
Where the fuck was I going with this? Oh, so apparently his character is like a racist asshole, and some people are offended that they would give the an award to an actor playing a racist character.
seriously.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking about how like if you were to do again like a fantasy story, you could have an orc and you can have a human. You can have that human be racist to the orc, and you could examine that character, and it wouldn't be offensive to us if this guy didn't like orcs because I don't know any orcs. Orcs aren't real.
Right.
And to me, that's like an interesting way to examine things like that. Racism exists in our world, obviously, but by introducing these sort of or exploring it using these fantastical elements, we can put that distance and that objectivity together. And obviously, the character that is racist towards the orc is probably an asshole too. It's maybe not as uncomfortable. But again, and to me, it's almost like unintentional. Is that, yeah, you've reduced the distance, and so it becomes a little bit more. The movie can get a little uncomfortable. On my second viewing, I was still enjoying it, but I get what people are reading it. You know what I mean? I can understand maybe people being like, "What the fuck? This is shit."
Again, I didn't think it was. It was a little weird because to me it was blatant and but it was like appropriately uncomfortable for me. It was fine. It didn't. It was blatant, but it wasn't blatant to the point that I was like, "This is stupid."
Yeah,
or whatever. Like that. Honestly, that shit didn't even really fucking bother me. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Okay. Yeah, it's. I would say it's probably one of the movie's more troublesome elements. But I think that the world building in it is one of its stronger elements.
Yeah.
And I think I was sort of I kind of was interested even at the first scene where and again you're talking about sort of juxtaposing the mundane with the extraordinary in kind of a fun way where Will Smith has to go outside and get a fairy out of his
yeah
his
like
gutter,
as though it's like a fucking fly or something.
where he
just
wakes
a
up
nuisance.
and his wife's like, "There's a fucking fairy fucking up the side of the house. You need to go kill it. And then, Will Smith starts doing the thing where he starts improv the script. And he starts talking about how a fairy threw poop in his cousin's eye that one time. And I don't know. There's something like that captures my imagination about that. About just that these fantastic elements would be mundane if they were normal everyday occurrences to you. And they have, I think, in the front of the house, they have like a bug lantern. What are those called?
I'm not sure what those are called.
The moth,
but the blue zappy.
Yeah, and it's like this the fairies like, zipping around it and getting shocked by it, and then Will Smith comes out and kills it with a broom. He does say a really weird line, and I actually looked into this. He says, he looks over at some people and they're talking before he kills the fairy. And he says, "Fairy lives don't matter today." And I thought this is a very strange line. And, like, one of, like, the cringier, like, "Oh, my God, what are you doing?"
Don't.
No.
No.
I looked it up, and I was like, who did Max Landis write that into the fucking script? That idiot. Because I think Landis did the original treatment of the script, and then Ayer rewrote it.
Oh, did he? Because I know Landis sold it.
Yes.
Like, he sold all rights to it, so I didn't know if anyone had, like, altered it afterward.
Yeah, so, Landis, I think, came up with the initial concept. Ayer rewrote the script. That line was ad-libbed by Will Smith. I don't know why it was kept in, but that line is not in the script, where he said fairy lives don't matter.
Okay.
I don't know why that line stuck out to me. Probably because it's a terrible line. I loves me some Will Smith, but that's fucking terrible, Will. Don't do it.
Don't. Please, no.
I think she could have cut that out. But yeah, I think even again watching the first, I'm surprised by like how seriously the movie takes its premise and its setting, and it's like amusing and endearing. It plays itself out like a gritty cop drama, but it has fairies and centaurs in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I know. Well, I think I read something about I think it was Landis. Like talking about it as like his end of watch. Like he wanted it to be that, like you said, kind of gritty cop movie, but he just wanted fucking fairies and orcs and shit.
Right.
Which it does.
Sure. I don't think it necessarily succeeds as like a gritty cop drama, but I think the like adopting the tone of one makes it weirdly compelling. I think in a lot of ways it's sort of like a pretty typical action-adventure sort of movie. I think that's why people, or at least it has a high audience rating, because I think the movie's like very easy to understand.
Yeah.
Here, so it's like Will Smith. It reminds me. This is gonna sound so fucking blasphemous. It actually reminds me of the original Star Wars movie to an extent, where it's like this very simple story told in front of like a really dense kind of background world, and we're kind of told exactly what we need to know to make the story make sense.
You know what's funny about that statement you just made too, by the way, is I read a quote that Landis considers this his Star Wars.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
even
sure.
joking.
I'm sure he would say that. It's not as good as fucking Star Wars, but
No.
I think he might have, taken that as inspiration in terms of the world is dense, but the plot itself is very easy to follow.
Yes. It's pretty basic. Well, okay. Might as well cover the basic plot.
Sure.
So yeah, you have, like you said, you have all that lore shit, but the current... Okay, so you had the Dark Lord.
Mm-hmm.
He was fucking defeated. Orcs are now, like, we covered that. So now there is a group of elves, like this rogue group of elves called the Inferni.
Yeah.
That are attempting to bring back the Dark Lord to start this new reign, this new age. And it's about Will Smith and Joel Edgerton, Ward and Jacoby, basically kind of stumbling upon while receiving I think a pretty standard call.
Yeah.
And they find a wand. So then the whole movie is about the Inferni coming after them and shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of there's a lot of like narrative legwork in the first third of the movie, sort of establishing the backstories of some of the characters, the world itself. Joel Edgerton is the first orc police officer.
Yes.
This is important to know.
He's hated by orcs
and humans. Nobody likes him.
Nobody fucking likes him,
despite seeming like a pretty likable guy.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right.
And then Will Smith is like a crabby asshole.
Yep.
And then
also doesn't really like his partner.
No, I don't know if he's like as explicitly racist towards him.
He's way more accepting of him than everyone else is, but he doesn't like him either.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy that holds up for the entirety of the movie.
Right.
Like there's never really this fucking like we're brothers at the end. Like he still doesn't really he still doesn't really fucking like him at the end.
It's basically the plot of Theodore Rex. If you've ever seen that. Except instead of dinosaurs, it's orcs.
Fuck is Theodore Rex?
You don't know what Theodore Rex is?
Oh.
It's the one where Whoopi Goldberg and a T-Rex team up to solve crimes in the future.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah. That was a movie.
Yeah, it was.
Holy shit, I forgot about that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, same basic concept.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So, anyways, then they get the MacGuffin. The bad guys want the MacGuffin.
Yes.
There's a couple different. There's a couple different groups want the MacGuffin. So then our heroes will go to location A, and then Group 1 will show up at location A wanting the MacGuffin, and then they'll have an action sequence. I think the middle.
It's kind of like Furious 7.
Yeah. Where it's just shit happens. It's just like action sequence after action sequence.
Yeah, it's just people like they have this thing that the bad guys want and they just keep fucking showing up.
I think I like the first maybe like 30 minutes of the movie the best, and then I think the middle sags. They maybe do that.
Was this flustered? Well, I kind of want
to... Oh, continue.
Sorry. No. I was just saying, it's just kind of flustered. Like, the middle part, there's, like you said, it's just literally them just moving around, and then it's just like you said, action sequence after fucking action sequence.
Yeah. They do it like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
You probably could have
like, it's literally, they get away, and then they're at a new location, and then the bad guys show up again, and then there's a big shootout, and then they get away, and they're at a new location, and then the bad guys show up, and there's a shootout,
Yeah.
and then they get away, and it just like keeps happening like that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I get it. Like, and then the end sequence is like, I'm fine. I mean, again, like I feel like a dumbass, like defending this movie, but it's not amazing.
It was, for me, it was just entertaining just enough to. I mean, for fuck's sake, our internet was out. I watched this entire movie this morning on my phone.
Yeah.
It was entertaining enough for me that I kept watching it on my fucking phone.
Like a likable pair of characters, like an interesting world, some decent action, like.
And then, of course, like I said to my brother and Andrew, Will Smith is the best fucking part about it. I don't know what the fuck kind of magic he has in him, but he can just take something. He can't fix the whole thing, but he has this amazing ability to take like a character. And I mean, I even said to my brother, I was like, or Andrew rather, I was like, it's weird because he's really just being Will Smith. Like, it's not like he's taking the character and making them their own.
Right, yeah.
But he's just so fucking entertaining to watch that he just brings the shit to life, and I fucking love watching him.
He's just super charismatic. Like,
it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it should be noted that, yeah, he's not really playing a character. He's playing Will Smith, man. It's nice to see him in an R-rated movie again. So Will Smith gets to say fuck a lot, which is enjoyable.
I was enjoying watching Will Smith say fuck so much. Oh, shit.
Just him. I think him and Edgerton, like those two characters, I think they like bounce off each other really well.
I enjoyed it. I actually didn't know it was Edgerton until after.
You didn't know Edgerton is actually an orc.
I didn't know that until after I watched the movie and was really surprised.
Yeah. Every time you see Edgerton in another movie, he's wearing makeup.
Oh, yeah, he is an actual orc.
He's actually an orc. This is the first movie where he didn't have to wear any makeup.
He exposed his true skin.
Right, and that was a very brave performance by him. And I think that he should be commended for, finally. I'm glad they cast an orc as the orc. You know what I mean?
Right. It's.
You didn't get Andy Serkis doing fucking, mocap work or anything. You just get an orc in there. Get a real orc in there.
Come on. They need the exposure.
There's lots of little... I don't know why that reminded me, but there's lots of dumb little references to the world that I just enjoyed. And again, you need to keep in mind that I enjoy fantasy worlds and I enjoy this concept inherently. For some reason, it interests me. Where he was like, "How many orcs play in the NFL or the NBA?" It's like none of them. He's like, half the NFL defensive lines orcs. And like I like the concept of orcs playing football. I don't know, like that amuses me for some reason. No orcs play basketball, or like you look and. They were centaur cops. They had their centaurs in the movie.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, no, they're just in the background. But there's a couple. And I was like, what do they do?
Let me hear about them. I like we're getting a fucking sequel to this movie, by the way.
I would watch a sequel to this.
Well, I'm down, but like, again, I didn't know about the sequel until after I watched the movie, because once I finished it, I went on me. I like going through the trivia section of IMDb and shit. I like reading up on stuff. And so I heard about then I saw that they were making a sequel, and I'm kind of like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Didn't this movie kind of fucking contain itself?
Yeah,
Or
but,
is
but
it going
then
to
so
be
does
like a
the
new
original.
story just within the world? Or is it going to be a direct continuation of this, or is it just going to be a new thing just in that world?
I
Because
would.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you think about like A New Hope is very self-contained as well, and I think that, like I said, I would watch. I would watch The Bright too, because I think it like introduced the world pretty well, but the story itself doesn't really utilize the world to tell the story. If that makes any sense, like they're looking for the wand, but it's just like,
Yeah.
what does the wand do? I don't really know. We don't know. Um,
What do you mean you don't know?
what are the exact capabilities of the wand?
Like fucking anything. They pretty much blatantly explain that.
Yeah, but it's not like,
I mean, the purpose, like, for the Inferni is that they're trying to use it to bring back the Dark Lord, but I thought it was
well, okay,
pretty well
why
established.
do you need three of them to bring back the Dark Lord?
I mean, I don't
Who are the
know.
Dark
Like, it's
Lords?
just like,
What are the exact capabilities? Because
I don't know about that.
the people who said, the one guy was like, yeah, you can make your dick bigger. Like,
Right.
that guy
Guy
was
from
an
Mad
idiot.
TV.
He doesn't know what wands can fucking do.
Which, by the way, the funny thing is, there's stuff I want to bring up, like stupid little stuff, like with that guy, that were really weird to me. I texted you about the one I'm thinking of right now. But as far as that, I don't know. Like, I don't know why they need three. Is it just the combined power? I don't know that. But yeah, like, I mean, they pretty much say you can do anything
Yeah,
with it.
who says that though?
A few different people.
I don't think there's ever like any sort of explicit breakdown of like,
I
because like
mean,
if you can
shit.
just do anything, then why? I don't think it's that as
Well,
powerful as it's being.
the one of the things I didn't really understand is that they were talking about how you needed to be a bright, quote unquote. Oh, the title.
Right.
Um, I was confused as to, so can non-brights use it? They just can't touch it with their bare hands?
Well, that's what I'm
Or is it
saying,
only brights that can use it, period?
and so like, why would you? Because that's the way I read it, was that if you're not a bright, so this dumbass doesn't know what magic is. You know what I mean? Like he
Right,
thinks
okay, yeah, that I
everyone wants it, but they wouldn't be able to use it.
yeah, I think I assumed the same as you, that only a bright can use it, period. But I was being confused by the movie because all of these fucking people were like, I want it
Right. And obviously
because I can
magic
use it.
is tightly controlled, because there are like some characters in the movie that are like magic feds.
The Magic Task Force, yeah.
And they like, so obviously magic is like very tightly, the use of it is very tightly controlled. So like
Right.
it makes sense that some fucking Yahoo police officer wouldn't even know what magic is capable of. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like, I read that. I read that as him just like making that up in his head. As like, you can use this to go back in time. I mean, we see some characters using magic with the wand, but what do they actually do? They don't do stuff like that. I mean, I guess
Well,
it brings
the
that one guy.
big magic moments you have Yachty. Oh, not Yachty. What is her fucking name?
Who?
The elf that's with Will Smith and Edgerton.
Tika.
Whatever her fucking name is, Yaki or
No,
whatever.
it's Tika. I just said it.
Oh, Tika. I'm saying
Yeah.
Yachty and Yaki.
Yeah, and then I said Tika, and he said, yeah, Yachty, or whatever.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
It's
Okay, yeah,
Tika.
Tika.
That's
Okay,
the name
it
of
was
the character.
Tika. Yes. She binds that first bitch to the wall in that weird, really fucking elaborate, pretty design.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Yeah.
Then you do have her bringing Edgerton back to life. So that's like the biggest thing,
Yeah.
other than like literally disintegrating someone.
Yeah, and then you can shoot like Kamehameha beams.
pretty much.
But that in the Bright 2, like, because, spoiler alert, Will Smith is a Bright, so he's a wizard.
Yeah.
Because
And like nothing really comes of that.
But, like, I don't know, maybe in the next one, maybe he learns to be a wizard or something, and will, as the audience, learn a little bit more about, magic in this universe or whatever. I mean, there's, like, different avenues you could take it. I don't know.
Do you think Will Smith's going to come back?
They already signed him to it.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
So he's definitely coming back for it.
bet.
They signed it, like, they put it into pre-production, like, 2 days after it came out. I think
Well,
all
I
the
know
people watched it.
yeah, I knew they signed. I knew they green lit it or whatever before the movie was even released. I didn't know if they had like confirmed anybody though.
Yeah. I think the magic in this feels like very much like the Force did in the A New Hope, because you could say, well, they said what the Force is in that too, but it's very vague in A New Hope what the Force is. It's like this very mystical sort of binding element to the universe, but like it's never like they don't go down into detail. What exactly can it do? What can't it do? You know what I mean? Like, I think Obi-Wan uses it to trick some stormtroopers, and then Luke Skywalker uses it to shoot a thing at one point. But it's like
Sure.
they never gone into like when in the next one he goes to Yoda, and we go into more explicit detail about what the Force really is. Things like the magic or the backstory about the Dark Lord and stuff. These things are really like skin deep in the first one. They're mentioned, but they're not really gone into detail. We as the audience understand that the wand is bad, and the bad guy should not have the wand.
Yeah.
But we as the audience, we know enough for the plot to make sense. But there is room to expand that further if they wanted to, or go into more detail on some of this stuff. I wanna see where the Centaur cops, what they do.
You know what's funny?
What? What's funny, man?
We would make. I think we would make a fucking just brilliant team, like a like when you have two directors in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would be like super fucking good at that because you pick up on all the shit that I don't
right
give a shit about.
Right. Like I'm trying to explain to you like narrative dissonance, and you're like
yeah,
falling asleep.
and like I'm listening to you talk about all this shit, and I was like, this is shit I didn't even fucking care about, dude. But I noticed like other things.
What do you notice? Tell me all about all the stuff you notice, man.
Okay, I'll take that back on the fucking potential greatness because I'm a dumb fuck. But, well, not take it back, but just a cautious.
I'm sure we do well.
I think we could potentially do something pretty fucking good because you're in tune with that fucking like thematic and kind of symbolism kind of aspect where I'm not. I don't fucking follow that shit. But I like aesthetic shit. I'm a fan of aesthetic.
Sure. Well, what did you think of this film's aesthetic, Matt?
Okay. So there was one thing I wanted to bring up in particular because it was really bizarre to me, but I kind of fucking dug it. But at the same time, it was really bizarre and out of place, but I kind of fucking dug it.
Okay.
Was the scene where I Can Make My Dick Bigger guy from Mad TV.
Right.
And all them, they're in there, they found the wand and they're like, look, this is happening, we're taking the wand. either we're going to have one dead cop on the news tomorrow or we're going to have two dead cops. Which is it? And then Will Smith goes back out and he's like confronting his partner. And then just the deliver, like, Ward, it's time. Oh, time for what? What's happening? And then Will Smith just going, all four of them standing there. All right, you're left to right. Who are they? Like, which ones? And then that fucking turnaround and just slow motion as he's just like fucking shooting them out, and you're seeing like sparks behind him, and they do that like that. The camera kind of like swings around him, and you're just like watching him just like take them out.
What happens in the rest of the movie, Matt?
Huh?
What happens in the rest of the movie? We should do a podcast where I just sit here and listen to you describe the entire movie like that.
Why not, dude?
It's just, okay, so there's like an orc, right? And he like walks up. And he's like, he like drives the car over and he comes out, okay? And like, Will Smith comes out and he's like, what are you doing here? I would listen to that. It's like an audiobook version. It'd be great. No.
Okay, but I
so
texted you after, I paused the movie and texted you. I was like, what the fuck was that sequence, dude? It
was a pretty neat sequence. It had a little
it was neat. It was so out of place, but like I don't know.
It had like a decent amount of visual flair for a movie like this. You know what I mean? I think it looked really good in terms of like the set design. It felt like South
like
Central
just the whole
LA.
movie.
Yeah, it had like this grimy sort of aesthetic to it that I
I actually really did enjoy pretty much the whole aesthetic of the movie. I
liked it. I think it looked pretty good. The effects are pretty solid. I think the movie, I'm not sure how much it cost. I want to say like $90 million. $90
million.
Which is pretty reasonable.
It's not too bad. It is the highest Netflix has spent to date.
Yes. $90 million, yes.
Which is another thing. How does Netflix, I'm curious about, how does Netflix profit?
That's a great question. That's something we're all wondering, really about all of their content. I'm not sure
how that works.
How they make money on anything, really. I'm not sure. I mean, they made, 4 seasons of BoJack Horseman. Are they making lots of money on that?
I just don't understand how...
I mean, keep them coming, but...
It works, because, you have normal movies, and they fucking go to theaters, and then you have a box office, and then you have home sales, and that none of that applies to Netflix. They don't put their shit out on physical copies. They don't have theater releases. I don't understand how they make their money. I don't understand how they work out, this is what we made from this or something, or if they even do that. Well, it would just be subscription.
I think it's just they have a war chest of all the money they've made from Netflix subscriptions, and I think they just make movies with it. I don't even know if it's sort of
guess.
Okay, Bright made us this much. I think it's really just oh, fuck it, well, let's make Bright.
Yeah, because, sure, they can see how many people watch Bright, and they can base, numbers, okay, do we pursue, or do we not, or whatever.
Right, well, they said, 11 million people watched it, but, what does 11 million people equal in terms of profits?
Right, how does the, economy of it work?
I have no idea.
That's been confusing me.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to me that I can see it both ways. On one hand, I can see why them not putting their shit out on physical copies, it's like keeping people subscribed. But I feel, at the same time, I feel like they could make more money. Because, like, if they put out fucking, like, fuck, I don't know, just like a Netflix original that I really like, I would buy it, but I'm still gonna keep subscribing to Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I can see the idea of like, well, fuck, if we put our shit out for physical copies, people will cancel their subscriptions. I can understand that fear, but I don't think it's super reasonable because there's so much more.
Right.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either, man, but I had a question.
Oh yeah, go
do you have anything left to add on Bright?
Oh yeah.
We were talking about that. Not that was Netflix Business Corner. But
yeah, I'm. That's just been like fascinating.
It's not the most interesting movie in the world. But
no, there were a few. Again, that was like one that stuck out to me. Okay, there was another part.
Yeah.
See, I watched the movie and I was sufficiently entertained, and then I felt like we could like discuss it, and now that I'm actually here, I really don't have that much to say.
Well, we have been talking about it for like an hour, so I kind of had a pseudo other topic whenever I figured we might not go that long on this. So
yeah, because I mean, I knew we had the basic.
Yeah, we talked about it.
You were going to discuss thematic kind of shit, and I had a couple things. One was that sequence. It was well done. I enjoyed it. It was really out of place, but I enjoyed it. Then there was another sequence. You remember when Jacoby gets blooded in?
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, when the dude who shot him and killed him, they come like he saved Ward. They fucking dealt with all the Inferni people or whatever in that one house, and then they fucking it's on fire, and he saves Ward, and he comes out, and like Will Smith is on the ground, just like about to die. I've never seen Will Smith so defeated before. Like he's so close, and then he just goes. He points over. He goes, "Hey Nick, look," and then it's like 5 of the. I don't know the character's name or anything, but it's just that head or guy of whatever group that is. Again, who had shot him previously,
right?
Which was also a funny scene to me because what's her name again?
Tika.
I was about to say Taki.
That's a character from Soul Calibur.
Nice.
Yeah.
She brings him back to life with the wand, and then they have that whole thing. Oh, the prophecy. And then they all like kneel down, which was also funny to me.
Well, it's funny that both of the characters were the main part of 2 separate prophecies.
Yeah,
that was kind of weird. They are both chosen ones, but different kinds of chosen ones.
But I didn't even understand why fucking Jacoby was a chosen one. Like, it was literally just because Tika she was the one who brought him back to life. Like, she was a bright. She had the capability. It was weird to me. Like, why? Why is he?
I don't know.
Chosen one. It's not like he. Like, it's not like he was Jesus. Like, he resurrected himself.
This is a man taking credit for all the woman's work.
I didn't understand that part. Like, that was just Tika doing that because she really liked him, and she didn't want him to be dead.
She should have been the chosen one,
I guess. But then for some reason, like, now Jacoby's like the chosen one. I didn't understand that. Ward made more sense because he was a bright,
Right.
But then anyway, so it was just funny that sequence where they all kneel down, it's the prophecy or whatever, was funny. And then the fucking sequence where he's, Ward's, look, and he looks over and they're all there. And then the leader fucking cuts his hand, and he's blooded in, and then all these orcs are just like,
Yeah. Did you like that part, Matt?
it was really funny.
I like that part where the
I
orcs went.
I like the part when the orcs went, whoa, because I was like, dude, I can't take this sequence seriously, like fucking at all. This is fucking retarded. That was funny as fuck to me.
Okay, so if I can do some closing comments.
Go for it.
If you can get over that sort of central sloppy racial element, which may be intentional and maybe not, I don't know. Like if it's just like they meant to do that and it was poorly done, or they didn't mean to do that and kind of fucked up. But if you can get past that, which for me wasn't that big of a deal, it might be a bigger deal for you. I don't know. It was kind of a charmingly weird little action movie with a novel setting and fun characters. I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fine.
Yeah,
I don't have like super too much to say about it, but I was captivated enough to finish it. I don't really have any strong feelings either way.
No, I would say, yeah, I would. It's a decent enough way to spend.
It was fine. I enjoyed
90 minutes.
my roughly 2 hours watching it. It was fine.
And like, what else were you going to do with those 2 hours? Your time's not that valuable.
Yeah, well, I would have been like killing myself, frankly.
Right. It's better than killing yourself.
Yeah.
It's more productive. No, I don't know. People are acting like this movie is like a giant pile of shit or something, and
it's definitely not.
I don't understand that. Again, I think it's people maybe being put off or offended by that central racial thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe people just hate Max Landis, which is understandable. But yeah, I read things like people like dunking on it, like talking about how it's just a giant pile of shit. And
right. Well, because again, I had heard whisperings of that before I saw it. I had never actually looked at any reviews or anything, but I just knew that it was not. It was kind of being hated on sufficiently.
Yeah.
And so when I was watching it, I'm glad you feel pretty much the same way, because I was like,
yeah,
do I just like everything now? I don't know what's going on.
Well, I know I'm going to look like a fucking moron because I just spent the first episode of this podcast. I spent 2.5 hours railing on Last Jedi, and now I have to sheepishly come in here with tail between my legs and talk about how I kind of like Bright. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked it.
I kind of like Bright. I don't know. I mean, I don't love Bright.
I know, and again,
it's okay.
To be fair, I know for a fact Will Smith alone is a big factor in it, because I just fucking love watching him.
Well, I've always said
watching
that if you were going to go on a 1 to 10 scale for a movie, which we don't do here and I don't do generally, but if you were going to do a rating, Will Smith's presence bumps it up 1 point for me. Your movie will be 1 point better for having Will Smith in it, and that's a
potentially even more.
Like, he almost makes Independence Day tolerable to me.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. What if he said welcome to Middle Earth?
Oh my god.
They should make a prequel with him as like Gandalf. Like he's his I would watch Will Smith in anything, really.
Yes. Period, dude. And like I was talking to Andrew, and I was like, dude, is Will Smith the best? Like, and then I was like, don't get me wrong, like he's not like super versatile or anything. Like Gary Oldman holds that shit, and like Will Smith pretty much just plays Will Smith. But is he the best at that kind of style?
He's not like the leading man, sort of.
Like just being,
he's one of the better ones.
he's fucking great, dude. He's so fucking entertaining to watch.
Bogart is another one that's just sort of like he's got his thing, like his shtick.
Who?
Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, Bogart.
You know, like he almost kind of always plays the same character,
right?
But like,
it's just fucking entertaining as shit to watch.
Yeah, like he has such a charisma that he's just so enjoyable, sort of watching his performance or whatever.
Dude, I watched a video of Will Smith with his family. Like they were just going like sledding, and I was fucking captivated. It's just Will Smith taking a home movie, and I was like eating that shit up. Like I loved it. That man is a treat.
It's really weird, but yeah, I don't know. My final, yeah, you know, like I said, if you got 2 hours, watch it. I don't know why people get so. I don't
know.
I always hear people go, "What a waste of my time. I can't believe I'll never get those 2 hours back." And it's like, what were you gonna do?
First of all, I've never felt genuinely like that for anything I've ever watched.
You know, it's interesting. I thought about that today, too. I thought that exact same thought, and I'm being 100% honest. I've never regretted watching a movie.
Oh. It's an experience. Fuck you.
Like,
2 hours.
Literally, no movie I've ever finished a movie and thought, wow, I wish I'd never seen that.
Yeah. To me, that's like...
You learn something from every movie. Every movie has a lesson, at the very least.
Well, I mean, it's just like anything else to me. Like, fuck, I literally had the term, and I already forgot it. That's a really, like, backwards way of thinking to me. Because, again, like you said, movie, in our case, it's movies, but it goes with anything. Like, anything you do is not a waste of time. I don't understand that.
I don't understand that. People view movies inherently as products. That's the problem. That's a cultural-wide issue to me.
True. Like, to me, that's the same fucking thing as you saying, wow, that fucking 2-hour hike up Mount Bullshit was a fucking waste of my time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it would have... I mean, I would consider a 2-hour hike up Mount Bullshit to be a general waste of time, but that's just me.
You're thinking like them, dude. No.
Okay.
No, it's an experience.
If you bought like a box of crackers, right? And you open up the crackers. And one of them has, and you're not looking, and you grab one, and one of them has, like, mold and shit all over it. And then you eat it. And you would go like, wow, I wish I had never eaten that cracker.
Right.
To me, movies aren't like that. Like, a movie is not like a cracker that I eat. It's not like a thing where, I think people have a very different way of looking at movies than you or I do. But they view it like that. They view it like, give me what I want. Like when I open up the box of crackers, I have certain expectations.
I mean, and we even had it explicitly like presented to us, and it's one of my favorite memories from high school. When in Peabody's class, when he was like, "How many of you own a film collection?" And then, you, me, and Kyle raised our hands, and Frank. And then we all looked around the room, and we were like, fucking it. We were the only ones. And then it was such an... that was such a mind-blowing like realization, and
Yeah.
I don't think about it too much like for what it is, but yeah, you're right. Like people don't a lot of people don't look at movies like we do.
Like if I watch Bright, David Ayer makes Bright. I want to watch whatever David Ayer made. You know what I mean? Like David Ayer made a movie and I want to watch his movie. Like whatever it is he made. But I think
Right.
people view it like that, where they go, if I buy a can of Pringles, I expect there to be, when I open the top, I expect there to be a certain number of Pringles in there.
And exactly what I'm expecting and wanting.
Right, and then when I look at the front, it says original flavor. So you know what I mean? Like people view it like a product like that. Not saying that
Yes.
food is inherently a product.
No, but I get what you're saying. Though. Yeah, like
food in preparation in itself can be an art form.
people
Obviously.
don't go to movies. I don't want to say people don't go to movies, but like your general audience, they're not going to again experience something or like see someone's
Artistic vision or whatever.
Yeah, vision or whatever. Most people are going to be satisfied. They are going with the expectation that they are going to get exactly what they wanted.
And I think that's why it's interesting. We just randomly went on a tangent because this is why I think Bright has a high audience score and Last Jedi doesn't necessarily have one, because to me, like, as muddled as its like racial politics were and like as weird as it is, Bright had likable characters and like a central story that was very clear.
Yes.
And like progressed. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yep.
The good guys won. They were put through some trials and tribulations. We grew to like the characters more. Whereas in Last Jedi, it was just like, oh, undercut your expectations and, like weird, like non-traditional story structure and like all this stuff. And again, if in my opinion, if it was better handled, I could appreciate things like that. I don't want people to think I'm like a moron that doesn't, like non-traditional sort of stuff or whatever, but that's, I think that's why I think an average viewer would like Bright more. I think it's more of a traditionally satisfying narrative.
And it is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
No, I don't mean to. I probably enjoyed Bright more than I enjoyed The Last Jedi overall. Though I would say the stuff I liked in Last Jedi I liked a lot more than the highs were
way
much higher.
better.
The highs were much higher, but to me, Bright is just like a decent.
It's solid, dude. There's a lot. The more I think about it, there's a lot I really like to. I actually just thought about. I genuinely enjoyed, again, thanks not to Will Smith's performance, to some degree. I actually really enjoyed that whole bit where Edgerton was talking about, there's a prophecy, way back in the day, he was unblooded, whatever orc. He was talking about he was a farmer and he helped bring down the Dark Lord the first time. What if we're in this prophecy? And fucking that whole bit, and then it turns out that they are a fucking prophecy was like actually genuinely satisfying. I enjoyed when fucking Will Smith grabbed the fucking wand at the end and was a Bright.
I like when Will Smith grabbed the
I
wand.
like when Will Smith grabbed the wand and he was a Bright.
This has been KJ and an autistic boy talk about Bright. No, okay, so, but that's not what I'm saying. If you can, like I said, if you can get past kind of the muddy racial stuff, and like, again, maybe I'm just not like woke enough, like maybe I just don't care enough.
It's fun, dude.
But
What, like,
I feel
why
like
you gotta hate? I don't
modern
get it.
day movie criticism is like a competition to see who's the most woke. And I don't view it that way. I view it like I'm analyzing films, like because again, I don't consider myself, or at least in the context of this show, I don't consider myself a film critic. As we've said, we are just discussing between the two of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to judge a movie on its own merits and not whether it aligns with my own political views or not. I mean, the racial stuff is poorly handled. Regardless, it's a little weird, but
That I agree with.
does that mean the movie's a giant piece of shit? No, I mean, it's kind of cute. I don't know.
It's just entertaining.
It's
That's
charming and weird. And,
well, and I've been like over the past few years, like watching movies. I've just kind of generally accepted. Okay, you know what? For me, and that's why I like talking about movies with you because you tend to have a more I don't want to say harsher. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of.
hard line.
Well, no, just like again, you're better at like analyzing like themes, like I was saying before, and shit like that.
Yeah.
Whereas I've just kind of like
analysis, as we say.
Yes, I've just kind of given up. And like
Okay.
just like not giving up, but just like accepting that, like, because I tried so hard for a long time to be like
so far.
I didn't even though.
That's not even the. It's not even the lyrics.
Yeah, I know.
Why didn't you
Tried
do
so
it?
hard and got so far, but I didn't. I didn't even get so far.
No, I got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter.
True.
That's what you should have said. Why didn't you say that?
I don't know. I
set up a bit and you fucked it up.
I wasn't thinking far enough ahead.
Well, what? Okay, whatever.
Anyway, what I was
Thanks
saying
for ruining
was
my Linkin Park reference.
I know.
You fucker.
Rip
Linkin Park.
Rip
Linkin Park reference.
And Chester.
Rip Chester.
What I was saying though was like I had this period like where I wanted to be like fucking I know movies, I get fucking movies, like in that kind of like aspect of like, oh, I'm judging this whatever. And then it over the past few years I've really just like embraced the fact that I'm just gonna fucking like what I like and fuck you kind of.
Yeah, no, I mean that happens to me even, I just kind of I don't like analyze them to the extent I used to, but now I kind of just like my brain's hardwired to do it. But
well, right, but like
I watched it and I was entertained and
exactly.
I kind of liked it. Like it's just like
exactly what I'm saying. Like
yeah, it's like
I'm
sorry.
accepting that there is a gut feeling like no, I'm sorry.
I found myself
fucking liked it. I
find myself kind of invested in it. I mean, I wasn't like I didn't finish it and go like, hot damn, that's the best fucking movie I've seen all year. I watched Whiplash again yesterday, and that movie gives me that. Where you're just like, damn, it was a fucking great movie. Like you just like I don't know.
Holy shit.
Whiplash is fucking great.
So,
we should do an episode where we just masturbate about Whiplash for 2 hours.
I know. While we're talking about it, I will literally masturbate.
Yeah, you'll whip your dick out. Like we're not talking about like metaphorically. We're talking like physically. We're going to masturbate to the thought of whip.
That fucking the final performance. I've watched that sequence like so many times, and literally every single time, and I watch it out of context too. I can't even imagine if I watched it in context.
Yeah, No, it's
I
great.
just
I think
I
that's the third time I've seen it. And that's a great movie.
dude, holy
It's
shit.
much better than Bright. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. To me, it's even a rare thing where find myself even slightly legitimately invested in a film or its characters or its story. And like, I don't know. I just found myself kind of rooting for these characters and like
Yeah.
hoping them the best.
Well,
It elicited some sort of emotional response from me. It wasn't
yes.
strong, but
No, I was invested enough to just keep watching, and it was
sure,
fine, and I was enjoying myself. I both don't want to give this movie too much praise, and I don't want at the same time I don't want to make it seem like I was tolerating it because
yeah,
I did enjoy it.
yeah, sure. I mean, I'd say I'm in the same boat, but
But I feel almost like
I almost feel bad for
obliged
it
to like.
too, and that's I think why I wanted to talk about it because like I watched it, and yeah, I almost felt bad for it because it was getting punched in the nuts.
It was getting punched in the nuts. I like the director. I like David Ayer.
Yeah, Suicide Squad's a piece of shit, but
Sure, but he's done
this
some
movie's
really solid shit.
much better than Suicide Squad.
Much better than Suicide Squad. I really liked End of Watch.
Yeah, he did Fury.
Fury, I liked. The first time I watched Fury, I didn't really care for it, and then the second time I watched it, I actually got a solid amount of appreciation out of it.
Yeah,
I still think the end sequence, like the character's commitment to the tank, is still really stupid to me.
sure.
Like, just get the fuck out of there. Like, no, that's not your home. What the fuck are you doing? But whatever on that. But I enjoy it as a whole well
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. I don't know. I almost felt like a leap to defend it a little bit. I mean, we're kind of damning it with faint praise, but I just want to like, I don't know if anyone's listening to this and like they feel like this is why I don't view these as reviews because I would never try to tell you what you should and shouldn't watch.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like these aren't like
No, that's,
recommendations, like because I don't even listen. I don't like go like shit. Should I watch Bright? Let me go look at reviews. Like
no, I don't
it
like
just
that.
seemed interesting to me, so I watched it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
I like watching quote unquote reviews where it's just them telling me what they personally thought of the movie.
yeah,
And so I like being a regular for those people. So like there's certain people that I know, okay, generally speaking, I tend to like what you like. So it's helpful. It's actually more helpful.
yeah. I like sometimes usually I use it for if not even like hey you and I both like the same things most of the time, but like I respect your taste.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
And also I just like being entertained. Sometimes I just like listening to
sure
I actually a lot of the time just like listening to people talk about a movie.
I sometimes yeah, and maybe we'll bring this up at some point, but I always like it when say Red Letter Media does its like year end roundups because they start talking about more random movies they saw during the year, and I go
Mhm.
like, oh, I hadn't heard about that because some of them are kind of random. So like, and I go, oh, I'd like to see that. You know, and I think
Yeah.
that's like a I respect their taste. So like, if they say it's good, I'll go check it out. I mean, I might not like it, even though they did, but like again, I don't view that inherently as a waste of time. But if it's something to seek out or whatever, and but yeah, I'm never gonna be like, yeah, you should go watch it. Like you should go watch it if you think you'd be interested in it, or even if you don't, because what are you doing? You're not doing anything for the
I'm gonna
next
go
2 hours. Go
fucking
watch fucking Bright. I just wanted to stress, and another reason I want to talk about is that like, if you're randomly listening to this and you saw the crappy reviews, and you decide to watch, not watch Bright, then go watch Bright. It's not that bad. It's kind of cute. I don't know what the big fucking deal is, or why it's everyone's favorite punching bag, and I just kind of feel sorry for it and want to defend it a little bit, but not too much.
Not too much, but then again, for the billionth time, dude, fucking watch it. Will Smith is worth watching anything
Oh,
for.
yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to bring this up, just to kind of, real quick, I wanted to ask a question that I thought we're at a pretty reasonable time frame. Anyways.
Okay. What are we at?
I'm reading, for the Skype call in total was an hour and 32 minutes, but
Okay.
we started recording a little bit after that, so it's probably more like an hour and a half. But you look at the cinema score, the F. I don't know how many of these you've seen.
The F. What?
The cinema score. They give scores. Like A, B,
fuck
C.
is a cinema score?
It's exactly what it sounds like. Cinema
From
score.
who?
From an audience.
Oh.
Okay, are you understanding?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, they give it like a grade, like a school grade.
Okay.
Okay.
Like A through F. Okay.
Yeah. So there's like 19 movies that have gotten an F. And
Just ever.
yeah. Ever. And I forget what it... Oh.
What, are you serious?
Yeah. There's 19 films.
Would you
like me to randomly read them to you?
Yes.
Alone in the Dark. Have you seen that?
That one.
Do you remember what's his fucking face?
Fuck.
Christian Slater was in that, I think.
Oh shit! With a
Is that an
bitch.
Uwe Boll movie?
I think it is. And it also had fucking what's her fucking dumbass
Tara
bitch?
Reid.
Tara Reid. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that movie sucked shit. I don't remember if that was like funny. The Box. You seen The Box?
Is that a recent one?
Yeah. Yeah.
With
Had
Dude, did that have a... Oh, what the fuck is his name? God damn it.
It had Franklin Jella in it.
Franklin Jella, and then it had a female and a male, like, lead.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz. And
Cameron Diaz.
Fancy Cyclops, a.k.a. whatever Marston. James?
Whatever. Okay, yeah, I do remember that one. I didn't see it, but I remember.
Yeah. That movie I kind of like. But The Box is one I want to put a pin in because I think I was looking at this a couple days ago, and there are some of them. So, like, Bug, I'm not familiar with. That apparently has Ashley Judd,
with
Michael Shannon. So
Michael Shannon, dude.
probably at least kind of interesting.
Weird ass fucking movie.
Okay.
Yes, I've seen that one.
But you'll notice that. Okay, so let's put a pin on that one. So it's weird. Is it like compellingly weird?
I kind of liked it.
Okay, because that's how I felt about The Box.
Nothing super special, but I kind of liked it.
Darkness. Apparently it has Anna Paquin in it. I don't know why we're talking about this now, but it's decently interesting because I have a point I want to make. Ian Glenn.
No fucking idea. Where the fuck are my cigarettes, dude?
Oh, I actually went to looks like some horror crap. So we'll throw that on its terrible pile. I don't know. The Devil Inside is ass.
That's the Justin Long one, right?
What?
Devil Inside?
No.
That's not Justin Long?
No. The Devil Inside is a found footage. It has no one in it. No one's in it.
Oh. What am I thinking of?
I don't. I was like, was Justin Long ever in like an exorcism movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was like a witch puts a curse on this, like his girlfriend.
are you talking about Jeepers Creepers, dude?
No, I'm not thinking of Jeepers Creepers. It was,
No.
I think it was like 2009-ish.
Tusk?
No, not Tusk. It was like 2009.
Drag Me to Hell?
Drag Me to Hell. That's what I was
That's
thinking.
not a
Okay.
fucking exorcism movie, is it?
Exorcism. But it's like this witch puts a curse
Okay,
on
that's just a horror movie, though. That ain't. That's the Drag Me to Hell. That's the shit.
where the witch puts a curse
Yeah.
on his girlfriend.
No, shut up. It's the fucking. That's the Sam Raimi.
Yeah, that was Sam Raimi.
Yeah, that's like his like return to horror or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not the same thing. You of all people know that that's not the same thing. You're just an idiot.
All right. Well, it sounded
Okay, no.
similar enough. I thought
Drag
for
Me
a
to Hell
second.
and The Devil Inside.
I haven't
not-
seen it in forever.
Okay, The Devil Inside is a piece of shit. Okay, disaster movie. Piece of shit.
That I know of.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have Drake Bell in it?
I don't know, dude. Why would... I mean, probably... Okay, let me look up this next one so I can... What is this one? I have no fucking... Dr. T and the Women? I don't know what the fuck that is. It's got Richard Gere and Helen Hunt in it. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna mark that off. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Wait, what was it called again?
Dr. T and the Women.
Okay. Hey, disaster movie has
Oh my god.
Mad TV guy that was in Bright.
Cool. Eye of the Beholder, which I've not seen, but that does again have poor Ashley Judd in it, and Ewan McGregor. I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this.
I have never heard of that either.
So Fear.com. Do you see that?
I have heard of that. I have not seen it though. That's an old one.
Yeah. It's got Stephen Dorff in it, so you know it's good. Anyways, I Know Who Killed Me, which is a piece of shit. That is a Lindsay Lohan film. In the Cut? What is that?
Sounds vaguely familiar. Meg Ryan and Mark Ruffalo? What the fuck?
Jennifer Jason Leigh. So you know it's good.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I really like
She's great.
her a lot. She has lately anyway, she seems to have a knack for projects too.
Yeah, well, she's one of those people where she's almost like you trust her taste.
Yeah.
So you just like go see whatever she's in because you figure, she has like an eye for scripts or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, Killing Them Softly.
That I know. I don't think I've seen. Is that that's the Brad Pitt one, right?
I don't know. This doesn't. This is taking so fucking.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Brad Pitt one. Okay, so have you seen that?
No.
No. Okay. Lost Souls, which I'm not familiar with. I don't know. It does have a Winona Ryder, so I don't know. Lucky Numbers. That I'm not familiar with. Let's see. This back half of this is gonna be fucking fascinating. Just me typing on
With John Travolta?
with John Travolta. I don't know what that is. It looks like shit.
A television weatherman scams a local lottery. That sounds fucking fascinating.
The most recent.
With Tim Roth. Tim Roth, Lisa Kudrow, Ed O'Neill.
Bill
what
Pullman?
the fuck? Michael Rappaport?
Yeah,
What the fuck is this?
it's pretty good.
Fucking Eddie from Eddie from Lost World. We got Michael Moore in this. What the fuck is this movie?
Okay, the most recent edition was Darren Aronofsky's Mother, which just came out in 2017, as we know. I've been meaning to watch that at some point. Maybe we'll do a Elizabeth Olsen's Silent House. Do you remember that? Do you ever watch that?
I did not.
I did not. It's not.
Wait. Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's the one that was supposed to be one giant tracking shot.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Hey, that's not a bad movie. I mean, it's kind of whatever, but...
Did I actually see that? Or did I just watch the trailer? No, I think I saw it. I can't remember.
Okay, but...
Mother?
No, not Mother. Silent House.
Oh.
Mother is the Darren Aronofsky movie. It has Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was like, I'm confused.
Silent House is... You gotta keep up. Silent
House. Yes, I did see Silent House.
Yeah. That has an F rating on... It's one of 19 films that has an F rating on. Not an amazing fucking movie.
I kind of like it.
I don't know why it's fucking F rating on... I don't know. That one's weird. We'd have to look into that. Solaris, which I legitimately like. That's Steven Soderbergh's Solaris. It's fucking...
That's fucking George Clooney, right?
Yeah. That's kind of a boring, moody...
I never heard it, or saw it, rather. I remember my dad watched it and said it was really boring.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a long time. I might watch it again. Reevaluate it, but of course, The Wicker Man, the classic, which I legitimately like. Not even as like this is. I mean, it is like bad, but it's
got fantastic bad moments in it.
But it's almost like fascinatingly terrible, like.
It contains one of my favorite moments. I'm not even gonna say sequences or anything like that, but this moment where he's in the bear costume.
He says, "You'll never get your honey, bitch," and then he punches.
Well, yeah, one of the women are like, "What's wrong, sister?" And then he just like decks her right in the face, and the bear costume is like the funniest fucking shit ever to me.
I view it more along the lines of something like the Room or like what Neil Breen films than like sometimes we'll watch like Dungeons and Dragons. That movie, like as a group, we've watched that a couple times,
right?
Because it's shit. But I view Wicker Man more in line with something like a Neil Breen film where I legitimately find it fascinating, and it's also quite funny. I really like Wicker Man.
Last time I saw it, I was that was like pretty.
This is such a fucking tangent. The last one is Wolf Creek.
I think I know what that is. I don't think I've seen it though.
I mean, it looks like some kind of horror movie or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a slasher.
Yeah.
I know the title.
But like some of those, I remember just reading those a couple days ago, and I like a decent amount of those movies, like legitimately. But I think that if you look at like The Box, which I don't know if you said, have you seen The Box?
No, I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
Okay, like The Box isn't good. Like I don't consider it like a great movie, but I thought it was endearingly strange. Where it like kept me interested in it because I was like, where is this going? What the fuck is happening in this movie? Like it's crazy. It's The Box is by the guy who did Donnie Darko.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And it just goes at a certain point you're like following it, and then it just goes off the rails about halfway through, and you're like, what the fuck's even happening? Because then there's like aliens and just shit, and you're like, what is?
Because I mean, it's basically it's like one of those things like if they take what's in it, then someone
Yeah,
dies.
it was a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's very like but the Twilight Zone episode was 30 minutes and he has to do like an hour and a half. So it's like he basically starts by adapting the episode and then for the last hour just shit. Just shit. It goes off the rails. And
With
I
a
legitimately can't even tell you what the fuck happens in it. It's
nice.
batshit insane. But like again, not like a great movie by conventional means, but like I can see why audience would hate it because they went in like expecting one thing and then I like it when a movie like surprises me. Where I go, holy shit, this like where the fuck is this going? You know, but like
Yeah.
that's kind of just what I wanted to bring back about this little discussion about this list, which lasted way longer than I thought it was going to because you decided you needed information about every single fucking movie.
Of course.
Was that half of them can be written off as like just horrible things. But some of the movies on this list are actually interesting or neat. They just aren't easily categorized. And I think that's what audiences hate more than anything. I don't think they view film quality like you or I do. In terms of general audiences.
Yeah.
I think, but again, I think it's like one of the reasons you and I think are so like bored by these big Marvel movies is because we walk in and we aren't surprised by them. But I think that's why general audiences like them so much
Because they're comfortable, yeah, and they're just getting what they want, yeah.
it does what it says on the tin. It says Iron Man 5. And then you go in, and it's like... Because for me, like... I don't know about that Black Panther, which I'm kind of interested in seeing, but, like... If you're like, here's... we're going to make an Iron Man 4. I had the movies in my head already.
Mm-hmm.
And what...
Dude, this is a really interesting thing, by the way.
What?
No, just this whole, like, look at it. I just started thinking about Last Jedi again.
Okay.
Well,
What about it?
because you know how like general audiences like were not about it. They did not like it.
Yeah, I guess half of them didn't.
Most, yeah, like there was like a
or
big,
if the internet's to be believed, it's all a bunch of like hateful man children. But
right. Well,
I don't think I haven't met anyone. I have not had a personal discussion with anyone yet that has liked it.
that has liked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like unabashedly really liked the movie. You liked like a couple scenes in it.
Well, I fucking adored aspects of it,
And then you hated the rest of it.
and then I hated the rest.
Which is
Sure.
everyone's fucking most people's reaction to it.
No, I thought a lot of people just like hated the fuck out of it, just period.
Well, maybe. Yeah. But then some people just
Regardless, it's just been fascinating because I watched, Mega 64, right?
yeah.
You know Rocco, like the fat dude. Before we started talking, I was watching his review of it, and he was talking about how same thing. Like he was super conflicted about it. Like he genuinely didn't know what he fucking thought of the movie because there was a lot he really fucking liked about it and whatever. And then after him, I started watching Kevin Smith's fucking hour and a half review of it, and he like really fucking liked it randomly.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, but regardless, everything I've heard from like that has been.
Yeah, Kevin Smith thinks the prequels are good though.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
You don't listen to him. He don't know what he's talking about. Okay, but I think there's conflict within us about Last Jedi, and I don't think that 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. Again, I don't even go to Rotten Tomatoes anymore. Like,
I
I don't
really
use
don't.
aggregators, or I don't really care about them, but to me, is that like representative of the quality of the movie? At least in my opinion, no, it is not.
No, whenever I do look it up, though, I just kind of like to see what
Like, I have not read
the quote
like, oh,
unquote whatever is towards it. The general like critic. I don't put much, if any,
yeah.
emphasis into it. I don't let
Every
that.
every review I've read of Last Jedi has been positive that I've personally read, whereas every like non-review I've seen has been negative. Does that, if that
Right.
makes any sense? Because
Yeah.
I don't consider like Red Letter Media to be like, they're not reviewing it. They're doing what you and I are doing. I think they're just having a discussion. Or again, if I'm talking to you, or talking to Frank or whatever. Sean, I believe, didn't particularly care for it. So, I there's a, but yeah, every like review, quote unquote, everything that would be listed on Rotten Tomatoes, or Metacritic or whatever, has been positive. I don't know why we're
I
talking
haven't
about
even
fucking
looked into
Last
it.
Jedi again, but
Whatever. I don't know. I did find it interesting though, and that everyone, like the people I respect opinions of, it has been all pretty fucking similar in terms of
yeah,
Last Jedi. I don't know why we're talking
because
about Last
I
Jedi,
don't
but
know. I
I
don't want to
I
talk about
I just
fucking Last Jedi anymore. I swear to God, I want to talk about Bright.
I
And
thought we finished that.
well, but Last Jedi, I feel like we're still talking about it to an extent because we're talking about audience expectation.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
now
like
we're on like a
we like
broader like
right, but I think what's interesting is to compare Last Jedi and Bright with each other, and like you can see
audience
that.
expectation and satisfaction.
Yeah, because if you look, this is really, I mean, we're coming to the end of this hopefully, but
I gotta jerk off, dude.
I gotta fucking go to, like I said, I haven't slept in like 30 hours at this point, so I need to sleep.
I actually fucking eat, dude. I haven't eaten like fucking 24 hours.
87% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
For Bright?
Yes. And then
Damn.
it's currently 49% actually on for Last Jedi as of this recording.
For audience?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dropped to 90%. Somebody gave it a bad review.
Dang.
I think the shine's coming off of that one. Now that everyone's done jerking the fuck off.
I still like it for what it is. It's probably going to be the only Star Wars movie I'll potentially own. I still have never owned a single copy of any Star Wars film. Period.
I don't. I wouldn't start with that one. I mean, I know you just want to like see Adam Driver shirtless or
Yeah.
whatever, but
Well, I just want
there's
to
more
see.
like free ways to do that than.
I, well, I probably won't buy it, to be fair, but I just want to see the things that I liked about it again, like really bad.
Just watch it on YouTube. Somebody upload those scenes, so you can just watch them there.
They'll inevitably put that shit up on YouTube,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, so, no, yeah. To me, these movies are like really interesting to compare and contrast, and that's kind of why I really want to talk about Bright, rather than it just being. And I guess we kind of, because that was going to be the second topic, but I think we naturally just kind of talked about it for the last 30 minutes or so. Is why is that audience one so high for that? And again, it's because it basically gives the audience what it wants.
Yeah, it was safe.
And Last Jedi
Which
didn't.
Yeah, which I don't. There's nothing wrong with either.
No,
I
I would have
really
again. I
believe
would have
there's.
respected. I kind of did respect Last Jedi for doing. I just didn't think too much of it. It was kind of a fucking mess.
Yeah, it didn't work in its entirety. It did not. But I respect decisions that it made, and I like aspects of it for being kind of off the cuff and surprising. And then at the same time, I
Yeah,
enjoy and respect like aspects of Bright, even if they're safe. I don't think there's anything
but it's
wrong
safe, but it's also
inherently.
it's safe structurally, but also kind of weird and
Yeah, I mean
bold in a lot of ways.
it's playing safe while trying to.
It, uh, it, it it has like a novelty to it, and I
Yes.
think maybe that's why
There,
people
like
watched
you
it to
said,
begin with.
there's a weird, unconventional aspect to it, but the main plot and drive of it is,
Yeah.
I don't even want to say safe, but it's relatively generic.
In a and I've always said that I value ambition more than technical skill.
Sure.
So like if a movie's like interesting, and that's why I still say that I like Last Jedi more than I like Force Awakens, which
Right.
Force Awakens was very safe but kind of dull, but more technically proficient than Last Jedi. Like in almost 95% of cases, I feel like in but if we're comparing the two, I would prefer Last Jedi. But I kind of would rather watch Bright, honestly. Like it was just a little. I like movies that like challenge me, as as an
Right.
audience member. I like movies that smartly play around with expectations and that you know try to keep the audience guessing. And I love stuff like that normally. Last Jedi I was kind of excited because I was hearing all that stuff and people were saying that kind of stuff about it. When I went into it, I was really like ready to like really like the movie, and it just structurally it didn't hold up. But
Yeah. That's tough for me, because yet a fucking again, um, what I did really fucking like about Last Jedi, I really fucking liked for the fucking millionth fucking time. Um, so I'm just like I'm driven. I really want to see that shit again. It's just stuck with me. Um, as just like kind of just curiously going back and watching a full movie, I would probably pick Bright.
okay, so you heard it here. We're gonna we're gonna end it there. You heard it here. Bright is better than Star Wars: The Last
Bright's
Jedi.
better than Last Jedi.
Uh,
Fuck all you haters.
Objectively, no question. Bright, best movie of 2017, in my opinion.
Best one.
What do you think? What do you think, man? What's your favorite movie of 2017?
Dude, what the fuck did I watch from
I
2017?
that wasn't an actual cut. You're supposed to say Bright.
It's La La Land.
Fuck off. Some fucking hipster bullshit. Get out of here. Bright's way better. La La Land didn't even come out in 2017, did it?
Did it? I'm not sure
I
actually. I
mean,
thought that was like no, cause okay,
yeah,
no,
that came
because
out. That came out.
that was
You're a fucking
2016.
idiot. That's 2016.
Yeah, because that was the whole the Academy Awards bullshit.
Yeah, it came out in December because they wanted
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Okay,
Because
so
they
Matt,
accidentally said La
let
La
me ask you one more time. What is your favorite movie of 2017?
Land. Fucking fuck.
You know what you have to do.
I know, and I'm
Say
trying to
just say
think of
fucking
something
Bright.
else. It's fucking
No, it's Bright, and you know it. Say it. Say it.
It came out in 2007.
Oh my god.
I want to
But
say
obviously, fucking. It's
I
a
want to
joke.
kill this joke. I want to say something
No.
else because
Yeah, well, you can't even remember. I can name you like 5 or 6 things I saw in 2017 that are clearly better than fucking Bright. But you can't even remember
name
because your
them.
brain's addled with booze.
Name them.
You want me to name them? For
Yes.
2017?
Yes.
A Ghost Story.
Didn't see it.
Patterson.
Didn't see it.
That's it.
That's it.
Those are 2.
A
Those
Ghost Story
2.
did look good though.
Get Out.
I didn't see it.
Baby Driver.
Oh yes, love Baby Driver.
The Big Sick.
Didn't see it.
Okay.
Wait, the big what?
The Big Sick. It had Kumail Nanjiani.
Nope.
Blade Runner
Oh,
2049.
I'm thinking of The Big Short.
No, yeah, you are. You're an idiot. Spider-Man: Homecoming.
All right, so yeah, Bright's the best movie of 2017. But for real, yeah, I actually really liked Baby Driver, and
Was
I
Bright better
was.
than Alien Covenant? Did you like Bright better than that?
Did I like Bright better than Alien Covenant?
Yeah, that came out in
Yes.
2017. I did too.
I'm not even kidding.
No, yeah, I'm not kidding either. I think I'd rather watch.
I would
Bright.
rather watch Bright than fucking Alien Covenant. I don't hate it. It's
Lego
just
Batman movie is better. Kong Skull Island better than Bright.
yes.
I would say.
Or than Bright. Well, yeah. No,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Genuine, like legitimately.
No, yeah, legitimately. I don't know why. No, I don't even know what we're doing now. You fucking ruined the joke, and now.
I know.
Oh yeah, Logan. That's.
I didn't see Logan.
Logan's really good.
That's what I heard.
It's like if you don't like superhero movies, you should watch that because it's about.
Well,
just
I
like an
loved the
old
trailer
man.
because it looked just like simple and fucking depressing, and I was
Yeah,
digging
it's like a western. It's basically like Wolverine dying of cancer. It's like
cool.
a character
Yeah.
drama or something. It's great. It's amazing.
That sounds like a fucking comic movie I can get behind.
Yeah. Yeah, Logan and Spider-Man Homecoming, very strong comic book movies this year.
Oh, are you serious about Homecoming?
Yeah, I said that last time and you were like, what? Spider-Man Homecoming rules. It's great. Like,
Oh,
legitimately.
I thought you were joking for some reason.
Last time? No,
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming is like one of my favorite comic book movies ever. It's probably one of my favorite movies of the year. It's really good.
Damn, dude. Okay.
It's like if Wes Anderson directed a Spider-Man movie.
Interesting.
It's really, really good. And I actually think you'd really like it.
Okay,
It's
I'll
like
check it out.
quirky and weird and fun. Yeah, it's the
Yeah, I remember you bringing that up, and for
And then
some
you're like,
reason
what?
in my mind you were doing like a bit.
No, yeah, I think because you were like acting like I was. You were like, wait, are you
Yeah,
serious? Like,
I
no,
was
no, I'm being fucking. I own it on Blu-ray. It's the only Marvel Cinematic Universe movie I own on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
really, really good. Yeah. I don't know if it's better than Logan, but they're pretty close. I really like both of those. So. No, it's a pretty good year for movies actually. Some solid stuff this year.
Okay, so
I was considering doing like a best of 2017, and we just did it in the last 10 minutes of Bright for some fucking reason, but obviously Bright would not be my pick for best of 2017. That was a bet.
yeah,
But no, I would highly recommend Spider-Man: Homecoming. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it because I walk into these Marvel movies like whatever.
yeah, because I don't give a fuck. Logan was the first one I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this is the first one that like I might be down
Yeah.
for.
My sister insisted on seeing it. I didn't really care. It's like the third Spider-Man reboot in a decade. Whatever. Who cares? And it won me over. I watched it again. So I've seen it twice, and it held up on the second viewing. It's actually really funny. It's
Cool.
like a comedy. Like I said, I don't know if you've ever seen like a Wes Anderson movie, but it's got some like weird, cringy comedy, and
I
it's
don't know that
really,
I've ever actually seen a movie, but I know
yeah,
his vibe from trailers of other
yeah. It's
movies,
almost got like a
yeah,
weird indie movie
which I really enjoy.
cringe vibe to it, or some parts of it. I find Robert Downey Jr. kind of whatever. He's in it as Iron Man. He's really funny. Like everyone's like charming as fuck, and it's great. Michael Keaton is great in it as the Vulture. He's the bad guy.
Cool.
The movie legitimately has a twist that legitimately surprised me.
John Watts. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, he did Cop Car with Kevin Bacon.
Yep. That was a weird movie.
Yeah, that's what they do now. They get like a indie guy to do like their big stupid superhero movies.
Yeah, I've been like super intrigued with that whole thing.
He
That
did
trend.
he did Clown.
Clown.
Clown. It's a movie called Clown. It's about a clown.
Oh, this. Oh, I haven't seen it, but I've seen the cover on Netflix, I think.
Sure. Sure you have.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, so this I got us clocking around 2:05, so I think I'm gonna call that. Do you have any final thoughts, Matt?
Uh, Not super really. Bright doesn't deserve the hate it's getting,
Okay.
and I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some. Dude, what the fuck? Oh, never mind. My bad. My bad.
Okay.
I forgot. I thought I was still on John Watts's fucking shit, but I was looking at my search for on IMDb just for clown. So for a split second, I thought he directed Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No, I don't
I
think
was like,
so.
oh, no, 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 because that's just because I searched clown. Okay. So our next one is potentially, presumably, what?
I have no idea. We'll have to
What?
finish that. I don't know what our next one's gonna be. So, you'll just have to stay tuned to find out. And I just I guess is my final thing. And like I'll echo what Matt said, and that you know I don't think it's this movie is worthy of getting kicked that hard in the butthole.
It's not that bad, Jesus.
No, I don't think it's bad at all. At least for me, it's
Agreed.
kind of cute and weird, and
I will
maybe
place it on the positive spectrum.
yeah, maybe again, maybe in terms of its politics, maybe a little misplaced or
Heavy-handed.
heavy-handed, but I think his heart is in the right place, and I don't know. If you're into that kind of stuff, or you think you might enjoy it, then just watch it. It's better than whatever else you're probably gonna do. So your time isn't that valuable. It's really the message I want to get out to everyone.
You're a loser. Accept it.
One day you'll die, and then no one will care. The world will keep on spinning without you. Like you're not important really in the grand scheme of anything. So just spend your life watching movies.
Your ego is too high, and you need to come to terms with that.
Yeah, that's the message really. I think of the episode. So
I like this has been the core just theme or whatever of this episode is that people think they're more important than they are.
yeah, sure.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you demand movies cater to you. You demand movies don't be a waste of your time. You don't get to demand anything. No one cares what you want. You
You will
know?
live and you will die, and everyone eventually will forget you.
So you got a limited time on this earth. You know? Let something surprise you. And give some more of your time. You know, don't
Just enjoy shit,
just
dude.
enjoy
Just
stuff.
live
Like
it.
I said, let the movies, you know, let art take you, you know? Lower your defenses. Just let it sweep you away. Stop being a cunt.
You're not important. Live in
Yeah.
the moment. Just accept it and just fucking deal with it. It's okay.